nothing more now. It's still got a few presents, that's cool.
Yes. Welcome guys, thank you for sticking around and having patience.
Thank you guys all, we love you.
Over here we do tarot readings and divination and spell casting and all sorts of mystic services, remote healing. If you want to join that queue, just do your exclaim join or type hashtag tarot, or just simply go ahead and ask a question. I'm Karin or Kerr, and yeah, welcome. Please feel free to just chat with me if you are not interested in a reading.
I think he's saying he wants to go.
Yeah, it's a little early. He can't just decide when he wants to go.
Brilliant.
So 4:30.
4:30.
Yeah. Cool. I'll roll myself a cigarette in the meantime. This is the last Rizzler in the box. Ish. It is the last. Just bringing myself to center. These elements on screen are talking about a little raffle. So we've got a little bit of a challenge on our horizon, and that is electricity. Our electricity service provider is not prepared to give us any more grace. We've got an outstanding debt on the electricity bill. Now we pay our bills every month, but there is an outstanding debt, and we can't afford to pay the full lump sum. So we've been trying to communicate with them and ask them for a little bit of grace and say, hey, we can give so much in addition to our bill each month, but they're not prepared to give us that grace. If we don't give them a lump sum, they're shutting us off. So that's going to happen any day now, and we have therefore been in the process of converting to solar. We have already got a gas geyser and a gas stove, and we've got our water on a tower, so it's gravity fed. We don't need pumps or anything for that. And yesterday I took a little drive to go buy a solar panel. Thank you, by the way, to Vic and all of the other donors who have helped us get this far. Today I placed an order for a 800 watt inverter. So basically the only thing that we're missing now is a deep cycle battery. And to add some incentive to this, we're hosting a little competition, a little raffle. You can join the raffle by sending a $10 donation. And yeah, I'm giving away one tarot deck to one lucky viewer, and I'll announce the winner on the 21st of June. And yeah, all the proceeds are towards getting the solar rig up and running. Hi guess to open up, I'm gonna look into the scrying ball. I'm going to seek visions. It's like a collective reading to like help understand the frequencies that we're all dealing with and going through. Yeah, it's a way to keep the ball rolling. Maybe attract some people, attract some like people who actually have requests. There is much value here, so perhaps the Blackwater scrying can give you a little glimpse of what kind of value is available here. Hey Jess, welcome. Welcome back. As you can see, we're still online. We still haven't been shut off. It was supposed to happen on Saturday already, but yeah, taking full advantage of the time that they're giving me, the little bits of time. Every day that there's still power, I'm going to be doing this. Until there isn't, and hopefully by then I will already have everything we need for the solar. And how am I doing? Felt a little rushed and a little bit stressed, like overwhelmed by priorities, overwhelmed by responsibilities, but I have some good family and good friends who have helped me keep up with that and have offered to take some of the load off my shoulders, so very much grateful. So where's that lighter? Did I even bring the lighter with me? Yeah, I did. Cool. So I'm going to open up by doing like a collective reading in the scrying, a scrying session basically. Seeking visions in the bowl of water. You know how this works, Jess. I'll probably need to stir up that black stuff. Okay. Lord Set, ruler of chaos, part the waters and show us what we need to know as the collective of humanity. Sometimes it takes me a while to connect. Sometimes I see visions pretty quickly. So please bear with me. Okay, that's a very interesting symbol. What I'm seeing here is a house underwater. I see the surface of like a lake. I can see the sky reflecting in the lake, and underneath the surface of the water I can see the roof of a house. So there's a house under the water there. Hey Tweety, welcome back. As you can see, we're not offline yet, so I'm taking full advantage of every extra day that these motherfuckers give me. Electricity service providers, third world problems. So, let's see. What am I? Like, I see something taking form. Something new. The image is warping, but I'm not able to make sense of it yet. What are we seeing? Remember these symbols, the house underwater. Sometimes I forget them before I'm done. I'll interpret them. I see a pillar. I see like a concrete pole, like a pillar. It's standing alone on a marble base. Nah, Tweety, this is a collective reading that I'm giving now. There's no one in the queue just yet. So if you want to join the queue, please, by all means do so. And I'm giving away tarot readings. This is just like the opening session. Oh, what is that? It kind of looks like a shattered, like a hole in the glass. It looks like there's someone threw a brick through a window, and there's a person climbing in through, or there's a person sticking their head through the crack, through the broken glass. Nah, today is not a tarot only day. Now I see a rhinoceros. Okay, so I'm going to interpret these images. The first image that I saw, house underwater. Okay, so that kind of talks to me about emotional overwhelm. The water talks to me about emotional energy. The house is community, it's family, it's friends, it's like interactions, it's connections and relationships. So it's like kind of saying that for most of us at this point in our lives, at this point collectively, most of us are feeling like our house is underwater, like we are struggling to breathe, and everybody related to that connection, everyone related to that house. Businesses feel like they're underwater, business managers, and yeah, partners feel like they're underwater. There's so much going on in the globe, like with the war, with COVID, with financial stress, with family dynamics. There's so much going on. It's creating a lot of emotional disharmony, and yeah, we're trying to swim through it. It feels like our whole system, our whole house has been put underwater. And then the next image of the pillar standing alone on a marble base. So this base, it's like us, and the pillar is also either us or someone that we know. It's like we're trying to hold up a structure alone. Most of us feel pretty alone. It's not the truth. We're not alone. We have people who help us and who support this building with us, but most of us are feeling pretty alone, like we're carrying all the weight alone at this point. What was the next image that I saw? Broken glass with a head, with a man standing, like protruding through the glass. Okay, this is an interesting one. The glass is like a window. And the man is coming through a hole in the window. The glass has been shattered. If I have to consider the symbol of glass and windows, it's a portal through which we view things. For me, it talks about my scrying bowl, it talks about my divination tools, but it could also talk about like web browsers, it could also talk about social media, anywhere that news portals, anywhere that you observe world events. It's like a portal through which you observe things. It's like the things we're observing through the portal are actually coming into our reality and affecting us. So we observe all these things on the news, but then we see how it's affecting our daily lives, like prices of fuel going up, prices of food going up, all of this. I think that's what it's talking about. And then that last image of the rhinoceros, that's saying that this is what it inspires in us. Well, this is what it should be inspiring in us. It's like adversity is a furnace. These hardships that we face, the stresses we face, it's all like a furnace. We're gold, we're impure, we're covered in dirt, and we've got dirt in between the gold atoms. So we have to be placed in the furnace to have those impurities worked out. and as a result of the adversity, it should turn us into like a rhinoceros. You know, when the rhinoceros is running, nothing's going to stop him, nothing's going to slow him down. Literally nothing on the planet is going to be able to stop him and slow him down. And so that's kind of what this is all about. It's like, it's not like it's a test that's being given to us in order to become rhinoceroses, but that is what we as human beings by our nature should, that's how we should respond to adversity. It should only serve to strengthen us. We should not allow it to send us into self-pity. We should allow it to motivate us and strengthen us. Okay, so I'm going to roll this dice to get some more clarity. Can I see my runestones anywhere? Yes, I can. Awesome. Captain Ross says, I thought you will never go live soon. Yeah, me too, hey? I thought that the power was going off on Saturday already. That's what I was told. That's the notice I got. But it's not off, so, you know, I'm taking full advantage of each day that they give me. I'm hoping that I'll be able to integrate and switch over to solar before they even come to shut the power off. They have to come all the way out here to do it, so that's the advantage, I guess, that it's not high on their priority list right now. Maybe they forgot. Let's hope they forgot. Fingers crossed. So we got 6. Okay, so what 6 is saying to us is that we need to look to our connections. Like, it's talking about that moment where we saw the pillar standing alone. It's saying that we are not actually alone, and we can evolve and do better and cope better if we communicate and share responsibility with those that we're in relationships with, close friends, family, partners, etc. It's saying that the people you know, the connections you have, they have a piece of the puzzle. They know things that you don't know, and you know things that they don't know. So by interacting, you give each other more. You give each other access to new knowledge, new experience, and new resources. Yes, Captain Roz, I am doing free readings. Now I'm going to grab a rune stone quickly. It will give me more dimensions on that numerology. So this is a collective reading that I'm busy doing, but yes, I am doing personal readings for you guys, and yeah, just go ahead and make a request and you'll be in the queue for that. And also have a look at the elements on screen. Here we go. You say, help me get off grid to win a tarot deck. You can help me get my solar rig sorted by sending a $10 donation towards that effort, and in turn I will add you to the raffle for a free tarot. And that's not a reading, that's a deck. That's a deck, and so your names will all go into a jar. I've only got one name in the jar so far, Vic. And then on the 21st of June I'm going to reach into that jar and pull a name out, and the lucky winner will get a tarot deck. I will ask for more information from the winner. I will request like a shipping address so that I know where to send the deck. And I was thinking of getting the Modern Witch Tarot for you guys, but I don't know, maybe you guys have suggestions on what tarot deck I should be, what tarot deck we should be hosting here. Welcome, Doreen. I don't think I've seen your name in the chat before. Thank you so much for joining us. New viewers are always appreciated. Please go ahead and subscribe. So we've got one other individual in the queue at this point, so yeah. I'm gonna be doing a scrying session for Tweet, and then for you I'll draw a tarot spread to find out about how your partner, whether or not they want to be committed, whether that's something they're doing. Anyway, I have here the airstone. So if I have to take this into consideration with the numbers on the dice, the airstone, it's kind of saying to us that despite the feeling that we're underwater, hardship doesn't last forever. The storm will pass. So small steps, just keep putting one foot in front of the other, and don't try and do more than you're capable of. Don't try and carry more than you're capable of carrying. Make sure that your goals are reasonably within reach based on what you have and what you know. That's kind of what that is saying. Emphasis on small steps. Captain Ross says, what does Jackie think of me? She's a girl. You're a very humble and calming soul. Thank you so much for your recognition, Captain Ross. Okay, so we're gonna scry for Tweety. Tweety, do you have a question, or you just want me to like peer at your inner worlds? And then after Tweety we will do Doreen, and then we will get to you, Captain Ross. Shivi also wants scrying, so Shivi actually came in before Captain Ross. Of course, Jess. Please don't hesitate. Please feel free. Feel free. Inner worlds. Cool. Open a gate. Part the waters and show me the nature of Tweety's inner world. I will interpret that dice just now. Okay, let's have a look and see what we got here. I should have topped this up, filled it up a bit more. I was in a bit of a hurry. Okay, so the very first thing that I'm seeing is a motorcyclist. Man riding a motorcycle. I see the fret of a guitar. You know the top of the guitar where you tune it? And like the first 6 frets down the board. Please remember these images, Tweety. We had a motorcyclist and the fret of a guitar. The fretboard. I see like a river of golden lava. There seems to be a table. I can't really tell how many people are sitting around the table. The waters are not still, they're like wobbling. But from underneath the table is like this river of golden molten gold. And it's running off of the edge of like a cliff that's next to the table. There's more than one person seated at this table, for sure. That seems to be everything that I'm getting from the water here. Tweety says the Knight of Wands comes to mind when you said motorcycle. And then Jess says, does Avi only consider me as a friend, or he has love? Yesterday his talks were quite confusing for me. I don't know what's running in his mind for me. Okay, so I'm interpreting these images for Tweety now. The first thing I saw was the motorcyclist. This talks about your life. Your life vehicle is a two-wheeler. It only has room for you. You're not able to, or maybe you can lift one other person, but it's not very comfortable to do so. So this talks about the way that you secure yourself, or the plans that you have regarding finances and growth and self-development. There isn't really room to carry anyone with you on that journey. It's a journey you should be taking alone. You can take someone who's dear to you, you can guide someone who's dear to you, but it would be uncomfortable and it would make your journey more risky. The second thing that I saw was a fretboard of a guitar. So it talks to me about creativity, first of all. Emotions and creativity and naturally sound. So I don't know if you have an interest in music or if you play any instruments, but it's talking about expressing your emotions, like that you have a lot of value. Your emotions can create a lot of value for you if you start expressing them through creative action, particularly through sound. So that would look like poetry, writing, anything where you can actually like quote it with your mouth and speak it out loud. Your voice has a lot of emotional power within it, a lot of creative power in your voice and in the sounds that you create and the words that you speak. And this is very instrumental to your journey, whether you realize it or not. Your creative potential is very instrumental to your journey, and expressing that creativity through your voice, through sound, is also very instrumental to your journey. And then the table with the river of gold. Okay, so that's saying that you've got like a table, you've got a place of meeting, or like you've got certain people that you sit down and chat with every now and then, or that you co-create with or bounce ideas off, and the kind of emotional and spiritual value that comes out of those interactions is golden. It's like of the highest value. But as it currently stands, that gold is just running off the edge of a cliff. It's just being wasted. It's not going into any creative project. It's not going into anything that will actually bring returns to you. It's like all of this value is just getting poured into the abyss, essentially. And yeah, that's what the scrying is saying to you, Tweety. Now I'm going to look at these numbers. We've got 10. Okay, so number 10 is saying to you that if you want to see returns, you've got to be planting seeds. Like you have the nourishment tools. Like say you plant a seed, you have access to enough water to grow that seed. You have access to the nutrients that seed requires. What you just need to do is actually go ahead and plant the seed into that soil, into that luscious soil, and start nurturing it so that it grows. And in time you will see returns from it. You will see returns on that value that you've given to that seed. Is there anything else that this is saying to me? Nah, it's just saying to you, go ahead and plant those seeds. Start making investments of your inner energy, of that value that's coming from your soul, of that creative value that you have. Let me have a look for a little bit of extra perspective. We've got multiple windows here. We've got the bowl of water as one window, we've got the dice as another window, and we've got the rune stones for a third window. And if you look at the thing from multiple perspectives, you get a more complete picture. So let's have a look then, Tweety. What have I got here? Again, I have... Actually, no, this is the Earthstone. Earthstone. And what does that have to say? Okay, it says that there are habits that you have. It says that there is a certain aspects of your lifestyle that will not serve your creative process, that do not serve your creative process. It's these aspects of your habits and lifestyle that allow all of the value that you have to fall off the edge of a cliff. So there's some things that don't serve you that you're going to have to let go of, habits and lifestyle, aspects of your habits and lifestyle that don't serve your creative potential that you're going to need to let go of. And there are new habits and new lifestyle that you're going to have to adapt and pick up new habits, healthier habits, creative habits. It's a little bit of a shift from where you have been into what's actually compatible with your creative potential. The systems that you have around you and the habits that you have are not allowing the value that's inside to actually reap rewards for you in your physical world, like financial and physical rewards. So you just got to adjust those habits a little bit so that they can actually give room for returns to come to you from you, the value that's inside. And yeah, that's what that runestone has to add. Shivi also wants some scrying. So let me just make sure that Shivi doesn't come after Doreen. No, Doreen is up next, okay. And then Shivi. Doreen wants to know if her person wants to be committed to her. You're welcome, Tweety. Yes, grow that sunflower. Plant that sunflower. Nourish that sunflower. Water her. Hey man, whatever it is that you're looking for, you're not gonna find it here. I'm afraid you're not gonna find it here, my friend. Please. I'm not a flower. Neither are my cards a flower. Okay. The bee has decided what we're gonna read for you, it seems. Whatever it is you're looking for here, buddy, you're not gonna find it, I'm afraid. Awesome. Oh, you didn't take the hint. Okay. On behalf of Doreen, is her person interested in true commitment? So the pendulum is answering no, unfortunately. It's also giving an anti-clockwise rotation, which kind of implies that it's not what it seems. His intentions are not what he's portraying them to be. Captain Roz, you are after Shivi. Okay, so we've got a Knight of Swords from the tarot for you, Doreen. So this is kind of saying to me, it talks about a rebirth. It's saying to me that he's got like ideas for starting like research or starting a new course or starting to study something. It's kind of talking about setting himself study goals, intellectual goals. He's got things he wants to accomplish, and there's a certain level of education or knowledge that's going to be required. So he's kind of birthing himself into that process. So a committed, long-standing relationship kind of conflicts with that. So yeah, that's what that is saying. He's not so much interested in commitment because of that, because it conflicts with this idea. But who even knows if this idea is going to come to fruition, whether he's actually going to commit to it? Because if he's not prepared to commit to you, is he really being honest with himself about his ability to commit? Don't know. What else does this card say? It says to you, Doreen, that your goals should not be within relationship. Your goals should be within your purpose. What are you creating with your life? What do you desire out of your life? That's where your focus should be. That's where your energy should go. You should not be focusing your energy into relationships and finding relationships. You should be focusing on self-development and securing your reality the way that you see it in your mind. And while you're doing that, you will encounter and interact with other people who are doing the same. When you are existing on that self-growth frequency, you will attract people on that self-growth frequency, and among them are where you're going to find people who are actually committed and who are actually energetic match for you. That's your reading, Doreen. Shivi wants some scrying. Cool. Excuse me. Okay, scrying for Shivi. So Shivi, did you ask a question? Because if you have a question, you can go ahead and ask it now. Yeah. Otherwise, I will just peer into your inner worlds and see what's revealed to me. Show me the depths of Shivi's inner world. I see the head of a large deer. Please remember the images. I see a hand reaching out from who knows where, grabbing a what seems to be like a ball made of shadow, just a black ball. Hey shorty baby. Nice. You're in that queue. I see someone sitting among rocks and there are waves of the ocean crashing down on them. This person seems to be holding a camera. Okay, so if I'm going to interpret these images for you, Shivi, face of a deer. The deer is a grazer and a browser. It's also prey, but it's dangerous. It's no easy prey. It has horns and it has strength and it has speed. This is kind of talking about your nature. You are not a hunter. You're a grazer. You're a browser. You live off of what the earth gives to you freely. This talks about the way that you secure yourself. You just exist authentically and you receive security. You don't have to like strategically plan out how you're going to secure yourself and make sure you've got something to eat. You don't have to hunt and chase it down. And when it comes to relationships, you're also not the kind of person who goes out seeking relationships. You wait for people to come to you. And that applies to friendships. You wait for other people to start interacting with you and communicating with you. You wait for men or women to show interest in you. You don't go out of your way to hunt for a partner. You are also formidable. If someone seeks to take advantage of you, you are formidable and can defend yourself. Captain Roz, we're doing psychic reading, but it's not exclusive, it's only if you want that. The last image that I saw was... oh no, I also saw the hand. The hand coming out of nowhere and grabbing a hold of a black ball. So that black ball kind of talks to me about your shadow. It talks to me about your triggers and the things about yourself that you suppress or that you hide. Hey Jock, please go back out. You're always quite a disturbance here. Sorry, I'm talking to the dog. Where was I? Shadow, the ball of shadows. And that's like all of your shadows, all the things about yourself that you don't want to acknowledge, that you don't want to have others see. Now those things can be negative character traits, but they could also just be things you're ashamed of that are not even negative. Things about yourself that you're insecure about. You just don't want others to know about them or see them, and you hang on to that. Instead of like becoming vulnerable and integrating with your shadow and accepting those parts of yourself, you hang on to it and you hide it, and it's like it's something you hold dear. It's like this private part of yourself, you hold it very dear. You don't want to let go of it or allow the world to see it or integrate it or become free of it. You hold it very dear, and the image is showing up to say to you that it's better if you accept it, and it's okay if others see it and they don't accept it. You don't need other people's validation, you only need your own validation, and clinging on to that shadow isn't going to be healthy for you in the long term. It's going to keep you in a place of stress and worry that others are going to find this out about you, or they're going to see this about you and shame you for it. It's going to keep this subconscious stress on you that's not really necessary. What did I see after that? A person sitting among the rocks at the ocean as waves crashed on them, and they were filming something on the beach. So they were faced away from the ocean and there were waves crashing down on them, and they were filming something on the beach. So what this says to me is that you live in a very spiritual place. The beach is like the line between the underworlds and the living worlds. You live in a very spiritual place, in a very deep place. But your focus is not there. You're not being present with the gifts that you have, the spiritual and psychic gifts you have. You're looking back at the shore. You're capturing memories of the shore. You're dedicating your focus to the shore instead of being present where you are. And so you don't notice the big waves that are coming at you. And you could see them, you could surf them, you could dive underneath them. But because you're focusing all your attention on the physical world, you're becoming overwhelmed by the waves of the spiritual world. You're being overcome by waves of things that other people can't see, but that you're in. spiritual experiences, strange emotional experiences, psychic influx that you don't even recognize, empathic ripples, like if someone else is feeling something, you feel it and you don't understand why, and it's overwhelming. And the reason you don't understand why is because you're still focusing all your time on the shore, on the physical, and not being present with yourself in the spiritual, where you actually exist. And then having a look at your die cast, we've got number 16. Number 16 talks about acknowledging your own insecurities. It's talking about acknowledging that shadow part and accepting it and bringing it to the surface and starting to be vulnerable with it and honest with it, instead of trying to hide it. It's saying that this is important, that you go into this self-reflection period and you acknowledge all these things about yourself and work through those triggers. Because if you don't do it of your own accord, the universe is going to present you with circumstances that make them apparent to you, where you don't have a choice but to come face to face with your shadow, and that will be unnecessarily painful. You can avoid that unnecessary pain by going through the process of your own accord, acknowledging those aspects of yourself, the parts of yourself that you didn't want to have seen, that you want to hide, to really dive into yourself and find those things and acknowledge them and accept them, saying, hey, yeah, this is a part of my past, this is a part of me, and that's okay. And the fact that it's a part of me means that I can make a change there. If you don't go through this of your own accord, the universe will put you face to face with your shadow, and it'll be jarring and it'll be frightening. It'll in fact be like a hard kick to your ego and to your identity. Runestone to get more clarity, to get another aspect on that. Welcome, Hot Sun. Can I tell you about your future career and finances? Sure, I can do that. Well, I can give you some pointers about what's up ahead and how you can get there. What's available on your horizon and what path to take. Give you little hints on that. So I've got the Firestone here for you, Shivi. And what does that imply? It's kind of very much in line with the numerology of today. It's kind of in line with the title, you know, what goes up comes back down. It's saying that whatever your intentions are towards the people in your life and the people around you is that what the same intentions they're going to have towards you in the long term. So if you've got healthy, encouraging intentions when you go into a relationship, or when you see someone struggling and you go to them with a helping hand and a listening ear, a compassionate ear, then people are going to behave this way with you as well. You're going to find there are people who want to support you and are there to listen to you and offer you a helping hand when you need it. If you're going into relationships with selfish intentions, self-serving, self-gratifying intentions, in the long run you're going to have people coming into your space with that intention. So that's kind of like a warning coming from that runestone. It's kind of saying just be aware of your intentions. In your life in general, when you go into relationships, when you start new projects, everything that you're doing, you're filming the shore, why are you there? Why are you focusing all your attention on the physical world around you and not being present with the spiritual aspects of yourself? What is your intention behind that? Look at it, because you're going to encounter other people with the same intention. That's how frequency works. If you shift it, you're going to meet other people who are on that new shifted frequency as well. And the people around you will also shift. It's collective. It's the way energy works is very collective. Like, it doesn't affect everybody. It does affect everybody, but not everybody moves. So if I have to give an example in my own life, if I'm living in a place of self-pity and fear and shame, I will see that the people around me are also living in that. I can see it in the way that they behave. And if I shift out of it, I see how that impacts all of the people around me. If I shift into a place of trust and productivity and grace, then I see how that affects the people around me, and a lot of people shift with me. A lot of my connections shift with me. Some of them don't. Some of them choose to stay in the reality of fear, but most will shift with me. And it's the same. I've noticed if my partner and I are in a low space and she shifts out of it, it encourages me to follow her. Yeah. Hey, Captain Ross, you did not miss your turn. You're up next. And Shatterbait Dominate Girl. One hell of a name. I'm just gonna call you Chat. Welcome, Chat. Okay, Captain Ross, I'm going back up to check your question. What does Jackie think of you? She is a girl. Shorty Baby wants the list. Okay, so we got Captain Ross, then we got Jessica O. After that, we've got Shorty Baby. It's not all that far down in the list. So I'm picking my divination tools intuitively, guys. Based on your question, I'm choosing whether I'm going to seek visions in the scrying ball, whether I'm going to cast the dice to get a numerology reading, whether I'm going to ask the pendulum for a yes or no question, or if I'm going to lay a tarot spread. And for Captain Roz, I'm going to lay a tarot spread. 69, your mum? No thanks, but yes, you can join the queue, you can be on the list. But please do not 69 my mum. That would suck. It would make a really awkward dynamic between us here, especially if the tarot starts telling me about it. I'll be like, geez, I don't want to know that shit. I promise I won't 69 your mom. I'm very much satisfied in my relationship with my twin flame. Okay, what does Jackie think of Captain Ross? What's going on in Jackie's inner worlds? Gonna have to shut the curtain soon. I've got a Prince of Wands as your first card, Captain Ross. Prince of Wands is reversed here. So what this card is bringing up for me is a meme. It's like bringing a meme into my mind. I don't know if you've seen it, but there's a meme going around that says, every dead body on Mount Everest was once a highly motivated individual, so maybe, just maybe, calm the fuck down. And this card is talking to me about that. So that's something Jackie is feeling. She's like looking at you and she's seeing all this passionate, fiery, motivated energy. And it's kind of overbearing. She's like, hey, just chill, just calm down a little bit. That's what she's feeling, like you're a little bit overwhelming in the intensity of your fire. You've got challenges that you need to overcome. Yeah, sure, you've got desires you're manifesting, you've got things you're working towards. But the passion and the fire that burns inside of you, it's kind of intimidating to her. It's kind of like overwhelming for her, like she can't really take the heat. And you know, I say to people like that, hey, if you can't take the heat, don't tend the fire. So maybe you guys are not compatible, but this is in the position of your past, so it is something that's coming to a close. Let's have a look at the present. In the present, okay, her perception has shifted a little bit. She's actually starting to appreciate this motivated energy, because it's not just words, it's not just talk. Four of Cups says that she can see that you have discipline within your emotions as well. You are disciplined. You don't allow your emotions to dictate your course of action. You allow your goals and your purpose and your intentions and your desires to dictate your course of action. You're very much disciplined within that. You have structure, you have routine, and you stay focused on that, because you know that each step you take brings you closer to your desires. And so she sees that the passion that you have is not just talk. You actually have structure and routine that brings you towards it, and that's something she likes and appreciates. Hey Jenna, welcome back. Your future outcome card is number 7 of the trumps reversed. It's the Chariot. So this says to me that she's considering whether or not she likes you. She considers, hey, do I want to be in a relationship with this guy? She's got a lot of things on her own plate, a lot of responsibilities. Yikes, that rooster like jars my brain every time he does that. She's got a lot of responsibilities on her plate, and so this decision, it like adds more. She's now saying, okay, I'm going to have to divide my attention according to my own goals, my own responsibilities, my studies, and now this relationship as well. So she's feeling overwhelmed by the decision of whether or not she wants a relationship with you. Or she's considering it right now in the present. The overwhelm hasn't yet hit her, and it's going to hit her. Now, you have a piece of the puzzle that she doesn't have, this emotional discipline. This is something that she could use to help ease that overwhelm that she's experiencing. If she had more structure and more routine and more a clear set of priorities, then she wouldn't be so overwhelmed. So maybe if she does get to this point where she's expressing any kind of overwhelm because of her priorities and her responsibilities, maybe talk about how you cope with it. It might help her out. I see you're still stressing about that, Jen. Thought we talked about that. Thought we talked about letting go of that stress. One reading per viewer, Captain Ross. Or anyway, one free reading per viewer. Jessica O is up next. So Jess, are you still here? Because Jess is asking me, does Avi, the Virgo, only consider me as a friend? Or does he have any love for me? Yesterday his talks were quite confusing. I don't know what's running in his mind. After the border. We will consult for you, Jen, don't worry. So Jess, I'm waiting for you to confirm. Based on your question, like I'm getting this intuitive nudge, and my intuitive nudge is saying that he feels like he's been friend-zoned, but that's not what he wants. So the reason his talks are confusing is because, yeah, he doesn't want to step over your boundary, doesn't want to lose you as a friend. So he's scared to express that he actually doesn't want to be in this friend zone. But let's consult the tarot anyway. What are Avi's intentions towards Jess? Prince of Discs. So this Prince of Discs is telling me that he finds you remarkably sexy and he desperately wants to be physically intimate with you. He desperately wants a physical, intimate relationship with you. And his tactic so far has been to just endure and wait and hope that that'll fall into his lap. And maybe it's working. If the card was reversed, I'd say no, it's not working, but it seems to be working. It is in the past, so it's something that's coming to a close. It's kind of saying that the breakthrough is being made. Like in the present, this is coming to a close. This period of him just waiting and enduring and being patient is coming to a close. Well, I hope that you still got your reading, Shivi, and you're welcome. Okay, back to Jess. We've got the Priestess in the present. So this card is talking to both of you. It's saying that the potential for this relationship, for emotional fulfillment, for spiritual growth, for physical intimacy, for financial security, it all exists right here in this relationship. And the opportunity for that relationship is right in front of you both. And you guys just need to reach out and claim it. You need to actually do that communication and be open and honest about it with one another. It's talking to both of you. It's saying if you want it, if you've got this idea of like working together in a partnership to secure yourself, of having someone to be intimate with, of having someone to hold your emotional experience and being there to hold someone else, the potential for all of that is right here with Avi. And it's saying to Avi the same thing. The potential for all of this is right here with Jess. It's up to you guys now if you're going to claim it. And if you do claim it, commit to it. You got to be ready to commit to each other. Future interval. So what's opening up for you is you guys talking about it. Ace of Discs is talking about communicating regarding that relationship, that impending and possible relationship. So it's his plan. His plan is to like start communicating more clearly and vulnerably. So yesterday he said some things to you that were confusing. His Ace of Discs was in reverse, but his future Ace of Discs, his future communications are going to be more clear. So you can wait for that and see what happens, or you can go ahead and be the one to put the Ace of Discs on the table. I hope that gives you some clarity, Jess. So who was up next? Shorty Baby was up next. Shorty Baby, if you're here, I'm ready to read for you. And you can let me know what your question is, if you had one at all. Ermagerd. If you have a question, if you'd like me to read from the tarot, if you've got a yes or no question, if you'd like me to seek visions in the bowl of black water, let me know. Yes, says Jess. Yes, says Shorty Baby. Jess says, I feel time is not right for commitment yet, but his talks are quite confusing for me. Everything you've said is right, Karin. Thanks a lot. You are welcome, Jess. I'm glad that you feel the resonance and it gives you value. I feel like if I keep saying clarity, it kind of gets overused, so I like the word value. Shorty Baby, you want to know what will you miss if you don't attend this gathering? Okay, so intuitively, I feel like this gathering is quite important, and so therefore I want to seek a deeper answer for you. V Supine wants to know when he's outside or when girls see pictures on his social media, what goes through their heads, because he tries to look his best. And that's cool. It's a very superficial question, but yeah, it's cool. Have you never sat with girls when they're like scrolling through Instagram and how they fawn over the sexy guys and how they laugh at the weird looking ones who don't put effort into their appearance? I don't know why it's important, Shorty Baby. Only you could know. I'm just going according to what my intuition is telling me. The bee is back. Is he sitting on my head? sitting on my head. I'm not a flower, mate. Not gonna find what you're looking for. Or maybe you will, who knows. Open the gates between me and Shorty Baby's inner worlds. Show me what she will miss out on if she does not attend this gathering. Such a weird symbol. The first thing I see is like a policeman in a riot suit. He's carrying his 9mm in his right hand and he's holding his riot shield in his left hand. He's got his full riot gear on, helmet and all. What else? What else have you got to show me? Black Waters of Chaos. That dog's voice. Oh, that's interesting. There is a slice of cake on a table. It's on like a golden plate on a table. Please remember these images, Shorty Baby. We have a policeman in his riot gear and a slice of cake on a golden plate on a dining table. Yikes. What I'm seeing now kind of looks like a glowing gemstone wrapped up in chains. It's like glowing yellow crystal wrapped in chains. Yeah, you gotta excuse me while I help this cat out, otherwise he's gonna continue to whine and cry. Jim, there are other ways to go about things. Okay, so to interpret that spread for you, to interpret those images, the first one, it's kind of talking about like you, the riot policeman is you're gonna have to do a lot of mediation if you go to this gathering. So something you're gonna miss out is that needing to wear armor and hold a shield and keep your gun close at hand. These are all symbolic, not physical, like emotional armor. It'll be like going into combat, you know how it is when you communicate with people, having to like fight with people's egos, dance with them, hide your insecurities lest they should attack them, etc. So you're gonna miss out on all of that like social dancing, that social combat. And then the next thing that was on the plate is that plate, the golden plate. So you're gonna miss out on some tasty treats. But the cake is symbolic. It's on a golden plate, so you know the saying, you get your cake but you might not get to eat it, or you get your cake and you eat it. So whatever that cake is for you, whatever your cake is in life, there's an opportunity to get a slice of it served to you on a golden plate by going to this event and to this gathering, and you will miss out on that opportunity if you don't go. And the last image of the glowing gemstone wrapped in chains. So that glowing gemstone is kind of like, it's a pointer, it's something to be aware of. They're going to be dangling hope. Yeah, like dangling hope in front of you. Hope for your dreams, hope for your opportunities, your goals, whatever it might be. But it's out of reach actually. They've got it on a string and they're like holding it there to keep people's attention. It's not actually something they intend to give or let you accomplish, something to be aware of. So whatever kind of promises that you hear, if you do choose to go, don't take them too seriously. And the numbers on your dice, what do they add up to? 10. So the numbers on your dice, 10, it is saying that you have been making you've been putting a lot of your time and energy into relationships. You've been putting a lot of your time and energy into things you want to accomplish for yourself. And going to this gathering is kind of like going to the harvest. It's like going to reap the rewards and returns on that investment of your time and energy. So to not go, it's like sleeping. It's like sleeping through your harvest. So I guess the numerology of that dice is saying to you that despite the difficulties that you might have to deal with if you go to this, there's a lot of potential that you could miss out on by not going to it. A lot of your own energy and time that you've invested into relationships and into your own goals, there's the potential to lose it if you stay away from this gathering. And runestone to give me a little more perspective. Hey, from Earth, I do know who you are. Thank you for confirming though. Welcome back to the stream. Please check out my description if you want to understand what's going on here and what my priorities look like at the moment. I have the Earthstone here. And the new perspective that I get on this diecast when I take this into consideration endless opportunities, endless possibilities, too much endless possibility. Decisions. Okay, so what this is saying to me is that you already have like a course of action in mind. You already have like something that you're working on. You've got projects that you're working on. An outcome. You've got this visual of an outcome of what your physical world looks like in its resolution and its outcome. It's to do with your physical security, your finances and your health. And now you've got this decision of either you're going to stay at home and work on that, most likely, that creative project or whatever that looks like to you, or you can go to that and you can reap rewards on other kinds of investments that you've made. So What this runestone is suggesting to you is that you take a moment to look at it, look at the value that you now are aware of. Like if you go, this is what you can have. If you stay at home, you know what you can have. So now ask yourself which you want to make your decision based on your outcome. Is going going to help you get closer to what you're visualizing in your mind and what you're creating? Is staying at home going to bring you closer to what you're visualizing and creating in your mind? And make your decision according to that. You got to decide, shorty baby. It's up to you. I'm not going to tell you if you should stay at home or if you should go. I'm telling you what you will miss out on if you don't go. I'm telling you what exists there for you if you do go. But that is your reading, so yeah. Can reflect on that and then make your choice. Next up would be Hot Sun. You're welcome, shorty baby, and thank you. Thank you for joining us today. Your review and your support. Thank you so much. I don't believe that Hot Sun... Oh, he is here. My mistake. I was going to say I was convinced that you had left already, but you are still here. So you want to know about the future of your career and your finances? So let me tell you about the future of your career and finances. Your future is defined by the actions you take today. It's as simple as that. Tomorrow is defined by the routine of the day. If you want financial security and success, then look at your present and see what you're doing to create that. If you're not doing anything to create that or to secure that, then it's not going to be there in the future. I see you're not interested in my advice. You want to hear what the tarot has to say. Well, tarot is pretty much going to tell you the same thing, but here we go. Tell us about the future of Hot Sun's career and finances. Ten of Wands in reverse. Nice, you're working on something currently. Beautiful. Apply yourself to that, commit to it, put one foot in front of the other daily, and it will result in abundance for you. Okay, so I'm not quite reading this card yet. I just want to say that it doesn't really matter what you choose to do, as long as you stay committed to it and consistent with it, it will result in value for you. But now this Ten of Wands is saying that in the past you've had some difficulty with receiving returns. You've often felt like you've lost out. The things that you desired or didn't manifest for you. The intentions that you set didn't come into fruition. And this card is showing up in the past position to say to you that you had a part to play in that. There were unforeseen events. There was unexpected circumstance that came up that the universe threw at you, and so yeah, you can blame the environment and say, okay, it's because of this and that and such on and so forth. These things that came into my life made it impossible for me to manifest my desires. Or you can say, hey, I wasn't flexible with it. You can look at yourself and see what you could have done better. And that's basically what this card is showing up to say to you. It also wants to say to you that if you sow seeds and you prepare for a harvest and then stuff happens, there's frost, there's bugs, etc., it damages your harvest and you have a poor harvest. If you let that discourage you from planting again, next season you're going to have no harvest. So it's basically saying make more investments. Don't let poor returns or losses discourage you from trying again and applying yourself again. You've got to keep sowing seeds. You have to keep making investments if you want to keep seeing returns. In the present, we've got a Queen of Cups. So the Queen of Cups, it kind of talks about expectations. Other things that it talks about is like opportunity for emotional value, like satiety and peace in the emotional being. I guess what it's saying to me here is that you've got this expectation that what you're doing now is going to bring you peace. Like getting a strong career going and lots of finances is going to bring you peace in your emotional being. That's what you expect from it. And I guess what this card wants to say to you is that that's not the case. If you can't find peace when you are without, you will not have peace when you have. So it's great that you're working on these projects and you're trying to create a future for yourself in your career and your finances, and you're securing that. That is great, and it's well done. Continue with that. You just need to adjust your expectation. If you're doing it because you want to feel more at peace in your heart, that's not how you find peace in your heart. It might take stressors off your plate, but if you can't find peace under duress, you're not going to find peace when you have financial abundance. You need to find a way to tap into yourself and fill your own emotional cup where you are, where you're at, and learn to let go of any expectation or attachment to outcome. Well, otherwise that outcome is going to bring with it disappointment. It will be everything you asked for, but it's not going to fill that hole. It's not going to hit that spot that you're trying for it to hit, if you get what I'm saying. Sure, you're not doing it to find peace. Okay, I'm sure. Future interval is number 21, the universe. This card talks about as above, so below, as within, so without. It's like that principle of whatever you can visualize in your mind, your reality can correspond with it. Your physical environment can reflect what you see on the inner world. So that's what's opening up for you. The ability to manifest anything you can see in your mind into your physical world. By applying your resources, by applying your technology and your understanding, your knowledge, your experiences, you can overcome any obstacle, and anything you desire you can bring into your present. And you will accomplish that by being consistent and committed with what you have. There will be certain aspects of yourself that come up to try and sabotage you, little shadow aspects of yourself, but you have tried this before. You've been here before. So you are aware of those aspects of yourself. For an example, if I've taken an example from my own life, if I'm going to write an article and post it on social media and I sit down to do it, but then I actually start checking my notifications on Facebook, it sends me into a long rabbit hole and I don't actually get any writing done. So I recognize that's an aspect of my shadow self, and I say, hey, I'm aware of that, so I'm going to actually use this machine for checking notifications and for interaction and communication, and I'm going to use this machine specifically for writing and for artwork, etc., for work. And that way I can avoid that shadow aspect of myself. I can find a way to work around it. So it's saying there will be aspects of yourself that come up, but you've done this before, you are aware of them, you have developed workarounds and coping tactics to get around it. And if you stay committed with these projects that you're working on right now, there might be periods of like lulls where you don't see what you're hoping to accomplish, but in the end you are going to be able to manifest whatever it is you're trying to create. It's going to put you in that position where nothing is out of reach. Anything you can imagine, you can create. And then the other thing it is saying to you is let go of your expectations, let go of your attachment to the outcome, because if you hold an expectation of how it's going to be once you have fulfilled your desires and completed your goals, it's going to result in disappointment. You've got to be ready to flow with whatever the outcome looks like, not having an attachment to any specific way that the outcome is going to look. And that's your reading for you. welcome. What can I say except you're welcome? So who's up next in the queue after that? We had 69. 69, are you still here? Because you're up next. And after 69 was Jenna LF. Alright. Kinda doesn't look like 69 is still here, probably for the best. So Jenna LF, I see you said how will your extra long trip go? Then you said, oh wait, 69 is still here. Okay, thanks for confirming. Did you have a question, 69? Because now would be the perfect time to inform me of what your question is. I can also just read generally and give you just like a general reading. It's up to you. I need to use the toilet though, so please have patience, please bear with me. I've got to go and use the toilet, and yeah, I'll be with you in a sec. What will my model career go? Huh? How will my model career go? Okay, I get it. Oh wow, very nice things to hear about myself. Okay, I'm back. Thank you so much for your patience, guys. I see not everybody had patience, but that's all good. Okay, so you want to know how will your modeling career go? So as I was saying in the previous reading, it doesn't really matter what you choose to do, 69. As long as you stay consistent with it, you will find abundance and value there. It might take you a while, but you will. I will seek more spiritual guidance for you on that topic. Remember, someone was asking about how girls react to their pictures and shit. That was a weird question. They're talking about me in the next room over here. Very interesting topic of conversation, to be honest. Okay. How is 69's modeling career gonna go? Is it gonna go well? Of course it's gonna go well. There's gonna be challenges along the way. But if he's consistent and he sticks to it, he'll get what he's after. Okay, tell me more. 4 of discs. First card. So this card is saying to you, everything that you've created thus far is because of your discipline. All the progress you've made thus far is because of your discipline. Going to get a portfolio made, and going to like apply to join various agencies. It was all like a system of routine and discipline that you applied, and that's how you got to where you are. And you can go very far by continuing to apply that level of discipline. Number 7 of the trumps reversed, it's called the Chariot. Second card. And this one is kind of saying that you're faced with a decision now in the present. You've got this decision that you want to make. Whether you're going to shift careers, if you're going to go into modeling, if you're going to leave behind what you have been doing, or maybe you have been modeling and now you've got opportunity for something else. Basically, this card is saying that whatever you have been committing to, stay with that. Don't change your career now. It's saying that you might be overwhelmed by all of the possibilities that are in front of you, and it just wants to say to you that you have already been on a road. You've already been traveling down a road. You've already picked a destination and you've already been walking towards that destination. Now these opportunities come to you and you're considering turning around and going back to the starting point. That's a bit silly. It reminds me of the joke about the blonde who swims across a lake and she gets halfway and she's like, hey, this is too far, and goes back. Ends up swimming the entire distance, but ending up back where she started. So this card is saying that's kind of what's going to happen here. If you shift careers now, if you choose something new, it's kind of like going back to where you started. So rather stick to what you have been doing. I mean, it's up to you, but rather stick to what you have been doing. And if you do choose to change direction, don't do it again. Don't get halfway again and then choose a new direction. Stay consistent with what you choose, or otherwise you're never going to arrive at the destination. Number 21, the universe reversed. So this is saying that is a shadow aspect of yourself. You apply yourself with discipline and motivation and structure towards accomplishing something, and then you get halfway to your destination and you choose something new and you start all over again and you apply all of that discipline and strength that you have towards this new outcome, and you get halfway and you switch again. This is something that's been reoccurring for you. It's an aspect of your shadow that gets in the way of you and your dreams. So now this card is showing up to say, be aware of it. Don't allow it to happen again. stay consistent with whatever it is you've chosen, or if you do change now, don't change again. Continue to be consistent with whatever it is that you choose. There will be hardships along the way, no matter what career path you choose, but the key is to stay consistent and endure through it and find creative solutions to any problems that you face. Dance around your shadow. Find ways to work around your shadow instead of allowing it to get in the way. Welcome, Exclaim! Says, hey, Corden. Yeah, it works. Corden, how are you doing? 69 says, thanks, you're welcome. You're so welcome. What can I say except I'm grateful for your view, your like, and your share. What did I do with that lighter? Welcome back, Exclaim. It's nice to have you here. Thank you for joining us. So Jenna LF is up next. Jenna LF, please let me know if you're here, because I see that my views on YouTube have dropped to 0. Exclaim, you can certainly join the queue. Please do so. V Supine wants to know if I'm after Jen. Yes, you are. You are in fact after Jen. Okay, so that my viewer counter is lying. There are 3 viewers on Twitch and there's at least 1 viewer on YouTube. Let's refresh that viewer counter. Hey guys, can I please ask you to use the other doors for access? Thanks. So waiting to see if Jen is still here. Waiting for Jen to confirm. Jenna LF. And thanks for joining the queue, Exclaim. I don't know if I said that already. I feel like I did. Anyway, thanks for joining, Exclaim. Oh, I see Shivi was like saying some cool things about me, saying, guys, I would like to say that his spells are effective. If anyone is interested, please tip. For a special spell specifically for you. Amazing. Thank you so much for that recommendation, Shivi, and that feedback. And Jenna says she's here. Awesome. So Jenna, I saw that you adjusted your question a few times. Started out asking about how the trip is gonna go, then saying you mean after the border, and then you said you'll ask about next week, and then you came in again and said I've got a you've got an important one, Levi or George? Levi or George? So what I'm going to do here intuitively is I'm going to shuffle the deck and ask for like a pointer on how it's going to go once you reach the border. And then I'm going to ask the pendulum to tell me if Levi is a good idea. And then I'm going to ask the pendulum if George is a good idea. That's how I'm going to do it for you. From Earth says, I'm also interested to learn from you and I wonder where we can start. So From Earth, I remember you making that request and I did promise to get you a schedule and to help and to explain all of that for you, and I will still do that. I've got some other pressing, highly pressing priorities to deal with right now. So that is what I'm doing. Like, my power was supposed to be off on Saturday already, so I'm actually lucky to still have electricity. So what I'm in the process of is building a solar rig so that I can get off grid, so I don't have to rely on the electricity service provider, this full of shit electricity service provider, to give me power that I can actually be self-sufficient and still have my stream and not have to rely on them. That's what the raffle is about. You send a $10 donation to help me get that sorted. I've already got a solar panel, I've already got a gas geyser and a gas stove and gravity-fed water. I just ordered an inverter, so all I still need is a deep cycle battery, and I'm just not by the means to buy that right now. I need a little bit of help. Please, guys, help me out. So you want to know Levi and George and next week's energy? Okay, we'll do it like that. And by sending that donation, you get yourselves into the raffle. We've only got one name in the raffle so far. That raffle is to win a tarot deck. If you send a $10 donation, your name gets added to the raffle, and on the 21st of June I will announce the winner and request shipping information so I can send you your tarot deck that you've won. And I'm thinking of sending the Witch Tarot, the Modern Witch Tarot, but I'm open to suggestions. If you guys have a suggestion on what tarot I should be hosting. Jen says Levi and George, next week energy. So consulting with the spirits and the universe, what does Jenna's energy look like next week? What is the frequency of next week for Jen? So is it Levi and George? Levi or George? We're just going to go with one and then the other. These are people, their names are capitalized. On behalf of Jen, is Levi a good idea? So the pendulum is originally answering no, it's initially answering no, very slowly. Not so sure what that implies. That slow swing, it says no, yes, there is a way that you can benefit from taking Levi with you or whatever, staying with Levi, but before the end of your trip there's going to be some difficulty. There's going to be some disharmony. On behalf of Jen, is taking George with, or is George a good idea? Pendulum is answering yes. It's not a slow swing, it's not a hard swing, so it's kind of saying, yeah, this guy is steady. He's like a stone. He's not hot. He doesn't burn out like a flame. He's not treacherous like water. He's steady like earth. Adjustment. It's number 8 of the trumps. What is this card saying to me about next week's energy? So next week's energy is about making adjustments and preparations. Getting the budget in order. Deciding if you're going to stop for pot course or if you're going to pack food. It's about getting everything ready, making sure that everything is prepared for the change and the time that you're not going to be at home. It's like that's what next week's energy is about. It's like packing up and preparing, changes, shifts. That's what next week's energy looks like, Jen. I hope that gives you some clarity and you get some value out of that. Welcome, Vit. You'd like to get into the queue? Okay, cool. I think my roommate doesn't like me or even hates me. If so, why? Huh. That's an interesting one. I wonder what they've done or said that gives you this impression. Well, we'll find out just now when we get to you in the queue. So B Supine is up next. Wants to know how people are reacting to his social media pictures and to his image when he goes out into public. He tries to look his best and put effort into his appearance and his character and his image. Jenna says, thank you so much. You're welcome, Jen. Thank you. Please consider helping me keep this channel online. Thank you. And Vit says, okay, thank you. Sure, no problem. Jenna says, always. Not people, only women. He's not concerned about how men feel about his profile pictures. So that card that jumped out of the deck was a Queen of Wands, and it's kind of saying to me that it feels very lusty. There's a lot of like sexual tension or sexual energy that they feel when encountering you in public or when seeing you on social media. And that's probably what you're going for, right? That's the intention that you put in there. Isn't it? You guys might have noticed, but I don't really post profile pictures of myself. I don't really do photographs. Sometimes. Nah. I've never put up... Okay, the very first picture that was ever on my Facebook was a picture of me. But since then, it's always been drawings. V Supine says, oh boy, am I that sexy? I don't know. Let's see. It's just saying that there is sexual energy and sexual tension there. That's what they feel. Not all of them, mind you. Just some. That's why you get naughty messages sometimes. Okay. What are the women thinking of Visupine when they see him in public? And when they see his profile pictures? Queen of Wands again. Talking again about that sexual fiery energy. It stirs something in their loins. You see, it's not so much about your physical attractiveness, it's the fact that they can see the effort that you put into your image. And like, I don't want to speak on behalf of all women, but I know that a lot of women appreciate that. Most or majority of men seem to neglect their physical appearance and neglect their image. They just wear shorts, shave their head. That's that. There's no other like detail or effort put into their appearance. So when there's something different about that, when they can see, oh, you've been combing your hair, or you've gelled it, or you've put on some makeup, or you've really put time into your outfit, it's attractive. Even if you're not attractive, which you probably are, I mean, I have no doubt that you are sexy, but even those who are not, if they're giving time and energy into how they look and how they come across, it is attractive in itself. I know that applies to me. I find men who put effort into their appearance to be sexier than men who don't. Although there is that rare occasion where you see a guy who is just so authentically sexy that it doesn't matter if he's putting effort in or not. Yeah. Your second card here is the Five of Wands reversed. So, at the same time, women are feeling like you're trying a little too hard. That's what this Five of Wands is saying. You're trying a little bit too hard. They want to see you a little bit more natural. Some women are impressed by how much effort you put in. Others are turned off by how much effort you put in. So you can reach both. You can reach both characters by like finding a balance in between. You still put effort in, but try and make it seem like you don't. Try and make it seem effortless. Even though you are putting a lot of energy into it, try and make it seem like you just woke up this way. And that'll help you out. basically just saying that a lot of women are being affected positively by it. They get that stir, that like sexual stir, because they can see that you put time and effort into yourself. And then there are other women who are like, oh, he's trying too hard and it's cringe. Your third card and your outcome is the 7 of Discs in reverse. So this is kind of saying that there's too many looks, or it's saying that you're going to be trying out a lot of different looks, a lot of different styles, and that's going to decrease the effect that you're having for a little while, until you really step into the character and the image that really fits you. You're still experimenting, you're still figuring it out, and that's okay, but this card is just saying to you that while you're still figuring it out, it's not going to have the full effect. Only once you truly step into the fullness of both your masculinity and your femininity is it going to have the full effect that you're looking for. And you're finding your way there, and that's okay. That's your reading, Visupine. I hope that you got some value from it. I hope that it excites and encourages you, and yeah. There was a time when I used to do shit like that too, where I used to like put a lot of effort into my appearance and put on cool outfits and basically model for myself privately and post that on social media. And I used to get a lot of attention because of it from both men and women. And I loved the attention, and at some point I stopped loving it, and so I stopped doing it. I had a really dark gothic vibe. I had dyed my hair black and I always wore it loose. Didn't have any dreads back then. Used to go a little bit more all out with my makeup. I used to do like a full smoky eye effect, teardrop effects with the eyeliner. Used to use foundation and lip gloss. Sometimes I'd wear high heels, crop tops. Still do that shit, but I try and make it a little more natural, and I also don't show it off. I don't like take photographs and post it anywhere. Exclaims says, forget about the look, I've seen the tip of your iceberg. Oh, nice sexual innuendo there, exclaim. Visupine says, how about in public? But so that spread was about not only your social media and photographs. I know that I trailed off into the social media side of it, but it's applying to you both in public and in photo. So I see that at this point in the queue after Visupine comes in From Earth, but I don't see a question from Earth. You're welcome, Visupine. Yeah, From Earth, you didn't request to join the queue, so in that case, Exclaim is up next. Exclaim wants to know, what is the point of this relationship I have with a friend who is female? Hey Josephina, AA, welcome back. How are you doing? How's things been going since we last spoke? So I'm almost at the 2-hour mark. Let's have a look and see who's in here, because I think I'm gonna like stop taking requests at 2 hours and then just answer the questions that are in the queue. So we've got Exclaim, we've got From Earth, we've got Vit, and Josephina. Yes, Josephina, you can certainly be on the list. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4. If anyone else would like to join the queue, now's your chance. If there's anyone who hasn't gotten a reading and wants to join, please go ahead and make that request now, because I'm going to close the queue. And yeah, I'm going to stop taking requests at 2 hours. Exclaim says it's kind of disturbing because there is love. I know to me it's friendly, but I want to be sure what she has in her head, even if she's not conscious about it. Okay. Okay. So I definitely feel like her relationship with her dad is playing a role here. Like she's seeking your validation and your affection because it has a lot of meaning to her. Maybe she received that from her dad, maybe not. But it's that archetype, that character is playing a role in why. It's playing a role in why she is the way she is with you. Exclaims, it's on the point already. So, what's going on in Exclaim's friend girl's unconscious mind regarding their relationship? Thank you for your recognition, Exclaim. I don't need her name. Nine of Cups. So, the level of intimacy that you guys have, the level of emotional vulnerability that you have, it causes like a lot of exciting feelings to stir in her. It also causes like this warm expanding effect to take place in her sacral. It's kind of saying that she has been starved of that kind of relationship. Like, she's had a difficulty in past relationships and in family relationships to be able to connect and be honest and open and vulnerable with any of the male figures in her life. So when making that connection with her, it stirs up all kinds of strange feelings in her that she doesn't really know where it's coming from. And it kind of makes her look back, and she starts reflecting. It sends her back. She's like, why do I feel this? What does it mean? Where's it rooted? She asks herself these questions and she tries to identify where the root is. She tries to look at the past where she's felt similar things and what triggered it in those circumstances. The point of this is to try and avoid repeating any impulsive decisions that led to mistakes or hardship in her past, and to try and see how she coped with similar experiences in her past so that she can reapply those methods. Okay, in the present we have the Queen of Discs. So this is saying that she doesn't want any more from you. The way the relationship is what she's happy with. She's secure with it that way. It has taken time for the relationship to get to this point. You have both invested a lot of time and energy into this relationship, and you found a place of security within one another, a place of vulnerability and security. And yeah, if this card was the wrong way around, then I'd say she is greedy for more, she's hoping for more, or trying to get more, and because of that intention to reach for more, it kind of puts the stability that you do have at risk. But the card is the right way around, which implies that she is actually grateful for the relationship as it is and is happy with it as it is. Future interval card is the Two of Swords, and it's reversed. So this kind of gives you a pointer as to what the point of this relationship. It's like an indicator to say, what is the point of this relationship? The point of this relationship is for academic evolution. It's for intellectual evolution. You guys have goals, she has goals, you have goals within your individual lives and within your career. You have knowledge that she doesn't have, she has knowledge that you don't have, and you guys can expand and evolve past your previous limits. That's the point of this relationship. You are going to get the piece of the puzzle that she has, and she's going to get the piece of the puzzle that you have. Sharing resources, sharing knowledge, sharing experience. That's basically the point of this. Like two pillars that support one another or support the same ceiling. The card is reversed. It's saying that this is something you're going to have to work towards. It's something you're going to have to commit to and communicate about. Like you're going to have to at some point say, hey, where's this going? I understand that we have value, and there's intellectual value in this relationship, and I kind of see ways that we can apply that within our individual careers and towards our goals, and I kind of see how I can help you reach your goals, and I kind of have an idea of how you can help me reach mine, your creative and your creative potential and your ingenuity. I can apply it, and I can apply mine to your goals. You're going to have to communicate about it, and you're going to have to commit to it, otherwise the point of the relationship is going to get lost. And that is your spread, exclaim. So, you're welcome, and thank you. So I just want to let you know what's going on here. As you saw, we've got the title is Raffle, Solar for Tarot for Solar Raffle. So basically, my electricity service provider is coming to shut off the power. They were supposed to do that on Saturday already, so I'm actually lucky to be online still. And the plan is to build a solar rig so we can get off grid and we don't have to rely on them. The dynamics of why they're shutting it off is that they can't give me any grace, they can't give us grace. There's some debt that was racked up that no one was aware of, not even them. And now they want that full debt to be paid immediately before they continue providing electricity, and they're not prepared to take down payments each month. So yeah, they're shutting us off until we can give them a lump sum, which we cannot do. So instead, we're going over to solar. And so to provide some incentive, I'm hosting a raffle to win a tarot deck. If you can send a $10 donation to help me get that solar rig sorted, I will add your name to the raffle, and on the 21st of June I will announce who has won the raffle, and I'll request shipping information from the winner so I can send you your tarot deck. So this idea of getting off-grid is not something new. We've been working on it for a while. We've got a gas geyser, we've got a gas stove, we've got a gravity-fed water. I went and bought a solar panel yesterday with the donations that I received this month, and I have ordered an inverter, an 800 watt inverter. So it's a 250 watt panel I've got here, and I've ordered a 800 watt inverter. So basically the only thing I'm missing now is a deep cycle battery, and I'm just not by the means to afford that deep cycle battery. So please help me out, guys. Much appreciation. And yeah, thank you. So next up we have Vit. Vit, let me know if you're still here. Vit, you asked me, you said you think your old roommate doesn't like you or possibly even hates you, and you wanted to know about that. From Earth you are in the list, thank you. Everyone who asked a question so far is in the queue. I have closed the queue now, so I'm not going to be taking any new requests, but those of you who are in the queue will get your readings. And Vit, you are up next. Thank you for confirming. Okay. Help Vit understand what has created the strange dynamic between him or her and his or her old roommate. On behalf of Vit, does his or her old roommate feel resentment towards him or her? So the pendulum is answering yes. It's a very steady swing. It's saying it's not hatred. They don't dislike you, but sometimes they do feel resentment towards you based on certain behaviors that they witness in you. There's a slight clockwise rotation, and that's what gives me that. It says that there's certain behaviors you have, certain habits you have, certain things you have to say, certain opinions that do trigger resentment in them. But they realize they don't hate you, they don't dislike you as a person, but there are certain things that you do and say that make them feel resentful. Eight of Wands. So this is saying that you have made a lot of changes regarding your intentions since those days, and she can see that. So, yeah. You used to have some bad behaviors, you used to have some self-serving intentions, and those are the things that created resentment for her. There's resentment towards you. But she can see that you are changing. She sees that you are deliberately changing your habits, changing your lifestyle, choosing to have healthier intentions, and that is something she appreciates and can see in you and recognizes. So kudos to you. This card is also patting you in the back and saying it's saying that there's a certain character that lives in your dreams. So you've got desires and you've got dreams that you want to manifest, and there's certain requirements of you. You have to become a certain kind of person in order to live that lifestyle, and you are making the changes. You are consciously choosing to make the changes and move from who you have been into who you need to be in order to have the life that you dream of having, and that is very encouraging to see, and well done. And she sees you as well in that. She sees you making those changes, and it encourages her too. You're welcome. Josephina AA. God's Lick, I'm afraid the list is just closed. I'm reading for those who are in the queue. At this point I'm not accepting any new requests. Josephina, are you still here? What lifestyle and persona suits you appropriately? Thank you for confirming that you are here. What lifestyle and persona suits you appropriately? Okay, so what I can give you that comes from my heart is that you there is something that you desire from life, something that sits in your heart truer than anything else, something that would make life worth living. We spoke about this last time, and there is a specific lifestyle and a specific character that embodies those desires, that has those desires. And so that persona, that lifestyle is what suits you appropriately. It's what's aligned with your heart's truest desire, the reason that you're here, the reason you chose to incarnate on earth in the first place. When you're living a lifestyle that fulfills that desire, and when you're embodying the character traits that are aligned with that desire, that's what is appropriate for you. But I'm going to read into the tarot for you as well. Whatever happened the other day did wonders. I'm so glad to hear it. Thank you very much for that feedback. Exclaim says, have to go, have a nice day. You too, Exclaim, thank you for popping by. What advice do the spirits have for Josephina regarding her heart's truest desire and her authentic lifestyle? So we've got a Ten of Swords as your first card. It's reversed. So this is saying that whatever goals and whatever purpose you were working towards last year and so far this year, it's now come to a close. Whether you were able to fulfill those goals or not, the universe has closed it for you, has chosen that that period of your life is over. That purpose, those goals were not aligned with your lifestyle, were not aligned with your heart's desire, and it's time to close them. There were lessons to be learned there and you had to go through it, but it's time for it to close so that you can embark on a journey that is more aligned. Now, you don't have to stress so much. This card is saying don't stress so much about what it is that is your purpose. Don't stress so much about whether or not the goals that you have in mind are aligned with your heart's truest desire. You can experiment, you can step out into it and give it a try. You will learn from it. You will learn whether it's authentic or not. And if you don't fulfill it, or if you do fulfill it, it's okay. It just wants to say to you, take up new projects, set new goals, start taking new purpose, or setting new purpose for yourself. Because purpose isn't something that's given to you divinely. You are born with a desire, and when you apply your will to accomplish that desire and live in that lifestyle, that is purpose. And you get to choose that for yourself. You get to choose the means through which you will accomplish your desires, and that is purpose. So in the present we have number 8 of the Trumps reversed. So this is saying that what's going on for you in the present is that you are busy changing. You are busy becoming that persona that suits you appropriately. You are busy stepping into that lifestyle that suits you appropriately. And the way that you're doing this is not by seeking out what is appropriate for you. It's you learning what is not appropriate for you and cutting those things away. You're not trying to understand who you are, you're trying to understand who you're not, and that's the right way to go about it. When you can see what you're not and who you're not, and what parts of your lifestyle and habits you don't actually want there or that are not serving you, and you cut them away, that's how you slowly become more and more authentic, by taking away the things that are not you. And that's what's going on in the present, and the universe is helping you out with that, because it wasn't something you were able to see of your own accord. The universe had to bring new people, such as this stream. It had to bring these people in the stream and me and other events in your life. Your privacy had to get invaded. All of these new events had to happen, and that was part of the process of the universe trying to show you the things that you were not, so that you could cut them out and become who you are. Future interval and things that are opening up for you is a 3 of Wands. So this is like realization, this is like awareness. It's saying that, as a byproduct of you being authentic and just working on the things that you can see in front of you, you are going to come to the revelation of what it is that your heart desires. 3 is about becoming aware, and 1 is about desires. So what's on the horizon for you is you becoming aware of what your heart's desires are. And also becoming aware of what those desires require of you, and what kind of responsibilities those desires put on you, what kind of lifestyle you're going to have to live in order to have those desires, and what kind of character you're going to have to present as in order to have those desires. All of those things you will be made aware of as you put one foot in front of the other and continue with whatever it is that you're going through, setting new goals, setting new purpose. As you do all of those things and you just do the best that you can with what you know and with what you have, you will steadily becoming aware. You will steadily become aware and self-acknowledging, and realize what your heart desires and what that will require of you in your character and in your lifestyle. And that is your reading. So it's a pretty encouraging reading, and I love it. I love to be able to see this. Like what I saw in the waters when you were here the other day. I don't know if that was yesterday or the day before. Yesterday, or if it was Friday. I think it was yesterday. And then to read again, to see the kind of progress that you've made since we did those reality collapsing rights for you, and then to have a look at that, it's beautiful for me. And I feel the same about just about everyone who comes into the stream. As I read for them and they get a better understanding of their circumstances, and they leave and they come back and I read for them again, it's like, whoa, I get to see how they're actually applying the information that the universe is giving them, and how they're becoming aware of themselves and how that's impacting their lives. And it's one of the most beautiful and fulfilling experiences to watch how people grow. And thank you, Josephine. Please consider helping me keep this channel online by joining the raffle to win a tarot deck, and helping me build my solar rig, so that the electricity service providers, these unprofessional electricity service providers, can no longer have an influence on this radio station podcast. So next up will be From Earth. And From Earth, you are the last reading on the list today. So From Earth says, what did this lady referred to as R from school feel about me? She turned and looked back at me the first time she saw me. Okay. So I'm feeling like a numerology reading is what we're going to do for you. Thank you so much for the gesture, From Earth. Every amount, every little bit helps tremendously. Because as I was saying, we've got gas geysers, we've got gas stoves, we've got gravity-fed water, I've got a solar panel, I've just ordered an inverter. The only thing I'm still missing is a deep cycle battery, and I've already spent all the donations you guys sent this month on the solar panel and inverter, so I need a little bit of help to get that deep cycle battery. So thank you very much for all of your consideration and all of the help that you guys have sent, and all the help you guys are offering. So much appreciation and thanks, guys. What was going through R's mind when she turned to look back at From Earth the first time they met? Okay. 1, 10. Okay, Okay, so what is 10 implying in this situation? It's talking about full circles. It's kind of saying to me that you turn around to look back at her. That's how you know that she turned around to look back at you. It's saying that you were both resonating on that same frequency. There was like a connection that you had, and you both felt it. You were resonating on the same frequency. You had been focusing on yourself and your studies, and she had been focusing on herself and her studies. And you were coming to the end of that. Like all the effort you had put in was starting to pay off for both of you. So it's just saying that you were both resonating on a similar frequency, and so your behaviors and your character portrayed themselves similarly. Like what was going through your mind is what was going through her mind. What you were feeling when you spoke to her and you felt that connection is what she was feeling when she encountered you and you had that connection. It's saying that you should have invested more. Like in that moment when you felt that connection and you moved on, and then you saw that she was looking back at you as you were, whatever you were thinking and feeling caused you to gaze on long, and then she turned around to see if you were still looking at her and your eyes made contact. You should have then texted her. You should have then started sowing more seeds, because there was a connection there and there was opportunity for emotional abundance and physical intimacy that you could have claimed. Sure, you never had any thoughts. Sure. Whatever you say, man. Yeah, here we go. Lover's card. It's saying that there was a connection there, a deep connection, and there was the potential for both of you to evolve. There was so much value, actually. You could have had so much value in that relationship, physical, emotional, and spiritual value, and it kind of did happen that way. Maybe you missed out on the full potential, but you did evolve through that relationship. It did teach you a lot of things, and it taught her a lot of things. Even if it was platonic, even if it was just like glances at each other from across the classroom, it had an impact on you, and you had an impact on her. And it changed fundamentally who you were. It was part of your... When you are in school and you're young, you're very, very malleable. You're very easily influenced, and everything that's affecting you, it influences who you become. So that was like, it's like a cornerstone, it's a foundation stone of how your character began to develop. That relationship, even if it was distant, even if there was very little communication, it had a big impact on you, and you had a big impact on her. Why were you watching her as she left? Because your key to understanding why she looked back at you it lies in the answer to why you were watching her leave. I've got the Earth Stone here. So this is saying, it's saying to me that you are in a place of self-reflection right now. And that's why the last time we spoke, you were asking me about things that happened at school long ago. And that's why now you're asking me about this girl from school long ago, because you're reflecting on that period of your life, and you're reflecting on those interactions and those relationships. They're coming up to you. And so this is saying to you that the reason that you're going through this period of self-reflection is because you're right on the edge. You're about to step into a new period of your life. You're about to step, maybe you're about to finish school, or you're about to finish a grade, or a semester or something. You're about to finish a cycle and step into a new cycle. So this period of self-reflection is coming up for you so that you can learn from any mistakes you made, and so that you can learn from any breakthroughs that you made. The places where you did well, you want to learn from it. The places where you made mistakes, you want to learn from it and acknowledge it, so that you can avoid making those same mistakes again, and so that you can use those methods for breakthrough and success that you had before. And yeah, that's what it's saying to you. It's giving you some understanding as to why you're going through this reflection period. And that is what I'm getting for you from this reading. From Earth. And Exclaim says, damn man, I'm crying positively. You made me realize my strength and how sad can people be when they're not allowed to be vulnerable. Huh. Your heart has been touched, Exclaim. Thank you for expressing that. Thank you for coming back to share that you're having that experience. You're touching my heart as well. From Earth says, okay, thank you. My life experiences seem abnormal. Exclaim says, you can't imagine how deep I've been touched. I can, actually. I can imagine. Selah, I'm pausing to contemplate the magnitude of everything that has been revealed in this session today. I love that running joke. It might become a meme of my channel in the future. From Earth says, I was being touched the same a few days ago when I asked this the first time I came into the stream. Thank you guys for your feedback and your recognition, and for coming back to let me know how much value you've received. It means a lot to me. You guys are now part of my community. Both of you are part of the Discord server. You are part of the body of man. Welcome, Ripali Khanna. I'm afraid that I just gave away my last free reading for the day. I am actually closing up for the stream. Closing up now. Not sure when I'll be online. I'll try and be online, but yeah. There is death looming on the horizon. Rebirth. Endings and new beginnings are looming on the horizon, and they could strike at any minute. Exclaim says, why not? I'll think about it. Happy to know you like the running joke. So I'll see you guys soon. If not tomorrow, then I guess the next time that I can see you. Yeah. Cheers. Wishing you all wealth and prosperity beyond measure. So mote it be.